Welcome to our Holy Week reflections. The Lord be with you. I hope you've been following us on the reflections. Don't worry if you've missed one, because you can always catch up, and if you're really keen, you can replay it at the end. Today I'm going to be focusing on a reading from John's Gospel, John chapter 12, starting to read at verse 20. If you've got a Bible and you'd like to follow with me, that would be great. Well, we're journeying with Jesus in the last week of his life towards his death on the cross. It all starts, of course, on Palm Sunday. Jesus was making a very powerful statement about who he was when he entered Jerusalem on that donkey, with the crowds thronging around him with joyful shouts of praise. His bid to be king would not have been lost on Caesar and the might of the military establishment. It left not only the Roman Empire feeling nervous, but as Sue reminded us yesterday, the temple leaders were getting jumpy. Clearly, Jesus was fulfilling an Old Testament prophecy from Zechariah, which says, "Behold, your king is coming to you, a righteous one, bringing salvation. He is lowly and riding on a donkey." He showed himself to be a king of love and humble service, not a military ruler of muscle and might. The King of love had come. As we begin to travel with Jesus through Holy Week, the mood is changing. The political temperature is rising, and danger is staring Jesus in the face. It's been brewing, but notice that some Greeks come and they say to Philip, "Sir, we want to see Jesus. Can you fix a meeting?" We don't know if they manage to see him or not, because Jesus replies, "Time's up. The time has come for the Son of Man to be glorified." This makes it clear to me that there has been a gear change. Before, in John's Gospel, Jesus is always saying, "My hour has not yet come." Now he clearly says, "The time has arrived." Before he goes out of his way to speak to people, teaching, challenging and healing them, now his focus changes. This is what Holy Week is all about. Jesus realizes that he has a destiny to fulfill in going to the cross. Jesus illustrates his life and death by talking about a seed. The seed perfectly illustrates the new life and the fruit which emerges when the seed dies. Nevertheless, there is a struggle within Jesus which points to his humanity. He says this, "Now at this hour my heart is troubled." Or one version says, "Right now I'm storm-tossed." Jesus undergoes a Gethsemane agony. He is on his way back to his Father to be glorified, but he suffers as a human being. The word troubled is a strong one. It signifies revulsion, horror, anxiety, and agitation. Surely this is not surprising that the agony of the cross proved utterly daunting to Jesus. Jesus' agony is revealed when he prays, "Save me from this hour," or "Remember in Gethsemane. Take this cup from me." There is an argument within him, because in the next breath he says, "And what am I going to say? Father, get me out of here?" "No," he replies, "this is why I came in the first place. Or in Mark, he says, "No, for this very reason I came to this hour, and not what I will, but what you will." This conflict which he experienced within was what troubled him. One theologian put it like this: the horror of death and the ardour of his obedience were meeting together. Let's remember Jesus today, who thought about an escape route, but fully realised his destiny and purpose to accomplish the will of the Father. In the same way, we are tempted to shrink back from the difficult and painful things in life, but God calls us in Holy Week to remember our destiny and purpose in the midst of these struggles. Let's ask God to strengthen our resolve to trust him and obey him, realising that our obedience today can have wider, long-term, even eternal consequences. As Jesus laid down his own personal choices in obedience to the Father, so our own personal choices may have to be put on hold for the greater good of those we love, those in our community and nation, and ultimately those across the world. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Amen.